We highlight the talented point guard for Northwestern, the sophomore Bryant McIntosh.
Bryant McIntosh has been spectacular early for Northwestern. All of his numbers are up. He's much more confident, self-assured, and is becoming that coach on the floor for Chris Collins' team.
McIntosh with his 16, almost 17 points per game, 6 assists per game. And the three-point shooting for Chris Collins' club. They do it often. Third most three-pointers made in the Big Ten. In his third season, trying to see the dividends of the recruiting that he's been doing. Tracy Dildy in his 6th year at Chicago State. Almost got a huge win earlier this year against Illinois. They'll try to take it to the Wildcats here tonight in Evanston. Ready for the opening tip. Jordan Madrid-Andrews will do the honors for Chicago State against Alex Ola, the 7-footer for Northwestern. And it's Madrid-Andrews who gives the Cougars the game's first possession. Chicago State has lost 6 in a row. They've battled some close games. 3 of those 6 decided by just 4 points or less. Northwestern 7-1, that one loss. A tightly contested game against number 3 North Carolina. Jared Adekoya from long distance with the miss. Chicago State not afraid to shoot from pretty much anywhere on the floor.
Well, Northwestern started in that man-to-man defense. You'll see a lot of switching. They want to pack in those driving lanes, but you still got to be able to contest that three-point shot.
A three taken by Scotty Lindsey as Elliott Cole grabs the rebound for Chicago State. Cougars setting up their offense, not afraid to take their smaller players inside. We'll see how that works out with the 7-footer Ola in there for Northwestern, although Madrid-Andrews handles the rebound around Ola, leaving Cole open for a three. And Lumpkin grabs the board for the Wildcats.
Well, that's 2 virtually uncontested threes for Chicago State. This is a team who can get hot.
McIntosh lost his dribble for a moment, finds Trey Demps, who gives it right back. And again, McIntosh loses the handle, only for Demps to find it one more time.
Northwestern doing a good job of moving the ball against that zone.
Trey Demps can't get Northwestern on the board. Still looking for the game's first bucket. In 2 teams that score a lot of points, both averaging more than 77 per game. Our first whistle, a traveler against Chicago State. Northwestern's put a lot of emphasis on their defense, while Tracy Dildy knows his team will take the ball away a lot of times. They'll turn it over here and there. A lot of steals coming from Chicago State. They lead the WAC with 9.9 steals per game.
Lead the WAC 9th in the nation. They do a really good job of mixing up their defenses. We'll see different full-court presses. We'll see man-to-man and zone in the half-court. Very active on the ball.
They like to take the ball away in the backcourt as well. A steal there right on cue as Chicago State reaches in with Joshua Batson taking it away from Northwestern.
Long bounce passes are tough against this team. Chicago State very good at getting in the passing lane, very active hands.
Adekoya had the isolation on Ola, but that ball rattled out. Lumpkin tries to save it right back to Adekoya as the Cougars get on the board first.
Chris Collins very worried about the mentality of his team coming off of final exams, having not practiced or played in a while when you have exams. Important for them to be sharp early.
Not just any final exams, grueling Northwestern final exams.
One of the things that this zone has done early, forced Northwestern to pass around the perimeter. You got to get a touch in the paint, whether it's an entry pass, whether it's a diagonal pass or dribble penetration.
Lumpkin from the corner rejected. That ball swatted out of bounds right as the shot clock was going off. So as Trayvon Palmer might have been the last to touch it, he touched it in time.
Well, offensively in practice yesterday, Northwestern worked on getting into those gaps against the zone. They have yet to do it on the offensive end of the floor early in this ballgame. 2
straight turnovers from Northwestern, 1 on the steal, 1 on the shot clock violation. Step back 3, way off from Palmer. Fighting for the loose ball, Joshua Batson tied up. And it will be Northwestern ball. Bryant McIntosh goes to the floor. A secure possession for the Wildcats. Timeout was called by McIntosh, able to get his hands around the ball. So Northwestern Chris Collins trying to urge his team to wake up a little bit after the long layoff coming back from finals. Chicago State actually able to call a timeout. Joshua Batson scrambling for that loose ball before the break. So inbound with the shot clock at 7 as they get it into Palmer. They don't have much time.
Gotta get up.
It's Adekoya, who trains from about 25 feet.
There's too much space. The Chicago State team will launch it from deep. You can't have your hands down. You got to be up on them. You got to force them to play off the bounce, but you got to contain as well. That's why they're such a tough matchup, because they will launch it almost 25 a game from the three-point line, but they also have the ability to take it off the bounce. You see shot clock winding down, no urgency. You got to get up on those shooters. You can see Lindsay right there. You know there's one guy that the ball's going to go to. Adekoya's had the hot hand, shooting at 43% from the three-point line on the season.
Alex Ola at the stripe for Northwestern. This is the man they want to get involved more offensively. It worked against SIU Edwardsville in their last game. He had 21 points, but they want to see that consistent offense start to develop from their big man, one of the biggest men in the whole conference.
I think he has to be a little bit more demanding. He has to have a sense of urgency, wanting the ball, posting up for position. Northwestern shoots the ball extremely well from the perimeter, but you have to have that inside-outside balance.
Ola gets 1 of 2 as Northwestern finally gets on the board. Still no field goals, 4 minutes in. Batson left open. This is short. Long rebound out to Elliott Cole. Chicago State able to reset. Not a bad rebounding team. Northwestern can rebound some as well as Chicago State can. As Cole tosses up the three from the corner, and it rattles out. There's the rebound for Trey Demps.
Right there, I think there's an opportunity for Alex Ola to do a better job of sealing the interior of the zone, but Trey Demps knocks down the three.
Finally, the first field goal for Northwestern as Trey Demps, the senior leader of this team, able to knock that one through. Chicago State's had the rebounding edge early on. A bit more aggressive to the basket as well. Cole kicks it out. Jordan Madrid Andrews can't knock down the jump shot. Northwestern on the move in transition. Demps out to Lumpkin. Demps will just take the shot. Ola was looking for positioning on the post. But the rebound goes to Adekoya.
One of the things Tracy Dilley talked to us about before the game, his team needs to be a little bit smarter in how they play, and right now trying to get good quality offense, but turning it over.
And there it is, right through the fingers of Jared Adekoya. Early on here in Evanston, it's Chicago State with the lead.
For Chicago State, they can attack off the bounce. For Northwestern, they got to get some touches inside.
Northwestern needs to use Alex Ola a little bit more. He's been to the free throw line so far in this game. Otherwise, no attempts from him inside. Really, Trey Demps has been their only shooter thus far. 3 of the 4 shot attempts coming from Demps.
And here's that full court pressure we were talking about. Chicago State will mix it up. Made shots, free throws, coming out of timeouts. Multiple points of attack in their pressure.
McIntosh trying to get it inside to Olan. Does. Nice move underneath. Good footwork from the big man out of Romania.
And good patience by the Wildcats. Breaking the pressure, getting a touch inside. If you can beat the initial backcourt pressure, you're going to get a high percentage look.
Northwestern has scored the last 6 points. Pull-up 3 way off from Fred Sims, but a second chance underneath for Chicago State. Devon Friend hits the putback.
Every bucket that Chicago State has scored on has been off of an offensive rebound. 5 offensive rebounds.
And a steal on the other end from Adekoya. Straight to the basket, but again, no finish and nobody there to clean up the rebound. Demps on the run. Pull up from the free throw line. Rattles through for Trey Demps.
Boy, he's just one of the best at being able to stop on a dime and elevate and put it in the hole in the mid-range.
Northwestern able to avert losing some points on that turnover in their own zone.
Well, this is what you have to do to beat the pressure. You have to get rid of it before the trap comes, but you have to make short, crisp passes, long passes that Chicago State can get a hand on. Will not work. And there's Alex Ola going to work inside.
Chicago State will inbound near Chris Collins and the Northwestern bench. Good start to this year for the Cats, 7-1. The way they look at it, a lot of winnable games remain in the non-conference schedule.
When you saw this Northwestern team has already won a lot of close games that last year they weren't able to finish. This year, a much stronger, tougher mentality and confidence level.
Kieran Woods travels. You look back at their game against Columbia. They had to fight for an overtime win. Same against Virginia Tech.
On the road in tough environment in Blacksburg, able to come away with that win. That's huge. And you saw multiple people on this team that have stepped up at many different times throughout the season.
McIntosh into Ola. That's what Northwestern's been working on. Getting through this Chicago State defense and getting it inside to the big man where they know they have an incredible size advantage.
And the difference between the 1-2-2 and the 2-2-1 and how you attack. Getting the ball in the middle of the floor versus attacking the sideline.
Adekoya rebounds for the Sims miss. Sims goes back inside and draws the contact.
This is how you beat the pressure. You get the quick ball reversal and you attack. You force Chicago State in rotation, get an inside touch, and Ola goes to work.
They actually called the offensive foul against Fred Sims. So will be Northwestern ball. 4 assists on the 4 made field goals for the Wildcats early. Alex Ola starting to be a bigger presence for this Northwestern offense. 21 in the last game. He's got 5 of the 10 so far here tonight. Chicago State making a change. Montana Bird comes in.
When you want to play the style that Chicago State wants to play, playing 94 feet on both ends, pushing in transition, you have a deep bench. You're going to see a lot of different players and a lot of different looks. I like right there, Ola talking to Trey Demps, telling him where to get it. Looking inside, you see a much more aggressive mentality.
Ola trying to set up a pick and roll. Instead, it's McIntosh who takes the 3 and misses. Falzone fights for the rebound, keeps it alive for Northwestern. The freshman Aaron Falzone, one of the best recruits Chris Collins has had since coming to Northwestern. Ola for 3. Falzone tapped it back. The rebound for Northwestern. Now Falzone along the baseline.
Well, what a lift of energy Falzone has been off the bench, and sometimes that's what you need. Need a little bit of energy.
Cats able to reset their offense. McIntosh trying to create space. Falzone for 3. Ola tips it back out, but it finds a Cougar this time. Montana Bird gets the rebound. Both teams icy from 3-point range. Chicago State working it around. You got to watch Kieran Woods on the floor, even though he's only 6'2", not afraid to dribble inside and take it to the hoop. Here's Woods. Pulls back, though. Attempts the 3 as the shot clock was running down. Taphorn gets the rebound. Falzone into Ola.
Great ball movement.
Demps knocks down the 3.
One of the things that this team does so well, the ball has to move side to side, multiple touches in order for them to be successful. Terrific execution on the inside-out ball reversal.
And Demps not really one of their best shooters this year from 3-point range, but he's got a couple tonight. Got to pay attention to McIntosh, to Taphorn, to Falzone. So many 3-point shooters Northwestern has. There's Woods going inside around Ola.
When you talked about it, Kieran Woods has the ability to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. And there's Demps with another.
Trey Demps living up to his name. That's 3 threes for Trey.
Well, hasn't shot the ball particularly well from three-point line this year. Shot it at 36% last year, so he's capable, looking to find that confidence from deep.
That's just what Big Ten teams want to see. Another 3-point shooter developing for Northwestern. Long 2. The rainbow arc from Adekoya that misses. Now Demps on the run in transition. Almost lost it. Found Taphorn right behind him to keep the possession alive. More ball movement. Another 3. Taphorn can't get it to full. 28 of 32 shot attempts now this year from Taphorn have been behind the arc.
Well, Chris Collins talked about the ability of Foul Zone and Tap Horn to continue to stretch the defense. And Northwestern down one big. Van Zagren is out right now with the stress reaction. So you have to be able to get Alex Ola touches, but then you have to be able to come with multiple looks from the perimeter, especially with not another big interior guy.
There goes Kieran Woods drawing the defense as he missed just a little wide of the rim. Friend in trouble, but gets the ball back and lays it down after being rejected on the first try.
Well, what effort by Friend to continue to go in there. 4 white jerseys surrounded him. He came away with the O-board a couple times.
Second chance points, 9 of them for Chicago State, as Demps misses that three-point attempt. Kieran Woods, a senior, one of many Chicago natives on this Chicago State team. Adekoya tries to dribble around McIntosh, now stops and pops. Drains it from 15.
That's a great take by Adekoya. The way he shoots the three, you have to be up. The little shot fake gets the defender McIntosh to rise up, and then he attacks.
7 points early for the senior Adekoya. Foul zone left alone. Another missed three from Northwestern, just 3 for 12 in this first half. Chicago State not much better from 3, 1 for 9. Another look in the corner. Foul zone, drew the foul. And the three-point attempt in the corner was Adekoya, who came in and made contact. Good start for Trey Demps. The senior has 3 threes early on. He's to double check. Talk to your agent today. Trey Demps and Alex Ola have combined for all 16 Northwestern points. The Wildcats 3 for 12 from three-point range. All 3 makes by Demps. While they are 3 for 3 inside the arc. A couple of tries for Ola, plus 2 more points from Demps. This is the freshman Aaron Falzone at the line. Falzone hits the first, a 71% free throw shooter, coming off a 17-point game against SIU Edwardsville.
17 points, 5 of 10 from the three-point line. Chris Collins talking about, he said this kid can really shoot it. You mentioned it, one of the highest ranked recruits. And Chris Collins, when he talked about this team, he said, you know, I thought we were ready to get over the hump, ready to be in the upper echelon of the Big Ten, and then we lose a guy like Vic Law, who does so many things for us on both ends of the floor. His ability to be a playmaker, to be a backup point guard, do multiple things in the defensive end. But you see this team is already much improved from a season ago in every single area.
There's the defensive hustle from Sanjay Lumpkin. Northwestern able to get the timeout called after the steal by Lumpkin as the Wildcats secure a lead here at home against Chicago State.
Trey Demps has been a lone source of offense for the Wildcats. 3 threes, 11 points so far. He was only coming into this game shooting 29% from the three-point line. So just what Northwestern wants to see, him getting hot from long distance.
He's only 1 three-pointer behind Alex Marco Tullio for 8th all-time in Northwestern history. He and Ola have done pretty much all of it tonight. That one lone free throw from Aaron Falzone, the only Northwestern point from somebody not named Demps or Ola. The Wildcats inbound after a steal and timeout. Chicago State has shot poorly so far in this game, just 27%. Most of their points coming, as you see, on the second chance opportunities.
Well, if you're Chicago State, you have to feel really good about where you are, considering you're shooting so poorly right now. But multiple second chance efforts, 8 offensive rebounds.
McIntosh, the shot clock running down, gets rid of it. Demps in trouble, is going to have to put it up. And he misses wide of the rim with Trayvon Palmer securing the rebound for Chicago State. Palmer, one of the best rebounders in the WAC. He's 3rd in the conference. This is Elliott Cole. Nice rebound. Batson just kind of fell into it as he leapt through. And they will say that one out of bounds against Trayvon Palmer. Stepped out of bounds there. Turns it over to Northwestern.
You got multiple guys They can crash the offensive glass from the perimeter. Northwestern's perimeter players not doing a good enough job of checking somebody when the shot goes up. You got to help out your big guys inside. When you're on the perimeter, you got to check somebody.
Ola got open underneath, and the two-hand stuff from Alex Ola.
Really like the way they're getting Alex Ola touches. Chris Collins talked about the fact that they need to have that balance. They can't just rely on their perimeter shooting, and he needs Ola to be more aggressive, and he's been that.
Ola has 7 points early on. Batson staying patient as he drives it inside, but took a wild shot once he got there. Demps on the run in transition, throws it up off the rim, gets his own rebound, and the putback for Demps, who has 13. Demps averages 15 per game. He's almost always on the floor. Most minutes per game played in the Big Ten this year.
Think about Trey Demps and Bryant McIntosh having the ball in their hands throughout the entire ball game. Both of those guys log a lot of minutes, and so important and critical to Northwestern's success.
A long three from Elliott Cole. The rebound fought for by Demps. Cats on the move again. Ola along the baseline, swings it out. Lumpkin three, falls for Sanjay Lumpkin.
Great drift action on the double team.
Northwestern with a 6-0 run. 15 points. Sanjay Lumpkin hitting that three. Now 8 straight points for Northwestern. They have 8 assists on 9 field goals in this game, 4 of those from McIntosh.
Well, and if you're an opponent, you want to take your chances with Sanjay Lumpkin shooting the three. Well, he's much improved from the three-point line this year. Hit a big one in that win against Virginia Tech.
This jumper from Sims. Chicago State shooting just 6 for 26 in the first half of this game. Jordan Ash holding the ball for Northwestern for a moment, the freshman. Demps charges the basket, but it swings out. Another rebound for Batson. Chicago State was hoping to do 2 things. Stay out of foul trouble and make baskets. They've done one of those things. They have not made many shots early on, and another turnover. Unforced error there as Batson let for a pass.
Northwestern's defensive energy has been a lot better. They've been a little bit more active. They've been up tight into Chicago State on the perimeter, not allowing those easy straight line drives.
More turnovers than baskets made early on for Chicago State. Demps kicks it out. Ola for 3. Ola's taken a couple of tries from long range, but Chicago State tracks down the rebound. The Cougars trying to slow it down. Sometimes they play a little bit more up-tempo than this.
Haven't shot the ball particularly well. Need to get a good possession here. Get some momentum heading into halftime.
It's Adekoya with the fall-away jumper that misses. Alex Ola, you feel like should get every rebound in this game. He's at least 4 inches taller than anyone around him. Chicago State 0 for their last 6. While the Wildcats have heated up. Jordan Ash, the left-handed shooter, missing that 3. Had a good look from the top.
Chicago State team that only shot the ball 22% from the floor in the first half against Valpo as well. And Coach Dildy talking to us about the fact we're getting good shots, we're just not making them.
And Chicago State, again, not making those shots today, just 22% so far, which has allowed Northwestern to open up the lead. 1 for 10 from three-point range, shooting just 22% from the field. Tracy Dildy's team started 3-1. They've lost 6 straight, 3 of those very close games. The Wildcats able to take advantage, though, of the fact the Cougars aren't making shots, just like Valpo did against Chicago State a few days ago in a 18-point win for Valpo. Lumpkin, nice move to the hoop on the run as he went strong to the basket. Lumpkin will go to the line. That foul on Trayvon Palmer. Fourth foul on Palmer. Rather, first foul on Palmer. Fourth on the team. Coming up next, the State Farm halftime report. Dave Rebson will report on everything happening along college sports today, including Nebraska having to fight for a tough win against Rhode Island. Lumpkin now with 4 points, the Minnesota native. His dad played Big Ten football, defensive back at Minnesota. Kieran Woods checking back in for Chicago State.
And this is a Chicago State team that you can't sleep on. I mean, they haven't made shots now, but they are volume shooters, and they do have a high-risk, high-reward defense. They can turn you over, they can score in bunches, and they can score in a hurry.
At the end of November, they went through a series of gut punches, 3 straight losses by 3 points or less, scoring a buzzer beater against Illinois.
And they had that game won against Illinois. Some poor decisions down the stretch, and the Illini took advantage.
McIntosh left open for 3. Brian McIntosh, the sophomore, the scoring leader for Northwestern.
And you could tell that's an area of his game that he really worked on. Shooting at 50% from the three-point line. Last year only shot it in the mid-30s.
Woods trying to get around Ola. That didn't work out. Out of bounds.
One of the things that was exceptional for Brian McIntosh this summer, going to the Steph Curry camp, one of 4 players in the country, really came back with a renewed sense of confidence. You can tell he worked on his game. He's much more confident in his decision-making, much more confident and strong going to the rim.
We saw him before the game doing some of those Steph Curry ball-handling drills. Woods tosses it into the backcourt as Batson brings it up.
Chris Collins talked about Brian McIntosh. He said, I expected him to be good. I don't think I expected him to be this good this fast. And it's really a testament to his hard work, testament to his basketball IQ, and his ability to be thrown into situations and grow.
Nice speed near the basket as Trayvon Palmer gets the bucket, but Joshua Batson making that play happen for Chicago State. Chicago State could use some high percentage shots. They take a lot of risky propositions from way behind the three-point line. Demp's missing from the corner there. The rebound falling to Devon Friend. It was a 7-minute scoreless drought for Chicago State. Now Woods will head to the free throw line to try to get a couple more.
We see Brian McIntosh working on those Steph Curry ball handling drills. Everybody wants to get in the arena to watch Curry do his warm-up, and Brian McIntosh taking a page out of that book.
That looks easy. Anybody can do that.
Yeah, anybody can do that.
Dribble the ball between your legs while you maintain the dribble on the other one. No problem. That foul's against foul zone, his second, a non-shooting foul. So Woods will inbound instead. Only the second foul on Northwestern in this half. They've both been on foul zone. Batson lost the dribble and then lost the ball, but it will stay with Chicago State. Lumpkin was disruptive on defense. Coming up, State Farm halftime report. Dave Rebson will have it for you.
Good switch out on that stagger screen, not allowing any open passing lanes.
Woods couldn't handle it. Now McIntosh all the way underneath. Brian McIntosh, after the steal, took it all the way to the hoop. Now an injured Cougar underneath the basket as McIntosh ran into Adekoya.
A little reminiscent of the degree of difficulty a shot that Brian McIntosh hit against Virginia Tech. He might have been fouled there as well. He's just become so much stronger in his ability to get to the rim. You saw him last year, a lot of mid-range shots, a lot of floaters. Now using his skill set to get all the way to the rim. Continue to improve on his three-point shot. Gives Trey Demps a little bit of room to breathe now that you have a secondary scorer on the perimeter.
A little less than a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so Chicago State can eat up most of the remaining time in this first half. Won't take too long as Woods tries to wait for a screen from Palmer. There goes Kieran Woods to the basket, looking for some help. A ball out of bounds. It will belong to Northwestern with 1.8 on the clock in this first half.
The versatility of Sanjay Lumpkin to play multiple positions, defend, multiple players on the floor really helps Northwestern in these situations.
10 turnovers from Chicago State here in the first half. McIntosh at the buzzer. Got the shot off in time, almost made it. Tried to bank it in. But Northwestern, thanks to a 15-2 run in the final 7 minutes and 40 seconds of this first half, able to take a cup. Rolling in as far as turnovers are concerned. Certainly only 3 of them in the entire first half. None in the final 14 minutes of the first half as the Wildcats start this second stanza with the ball. And they turn it over.
Nothing like a good announcer jinx than talking about it right out of the halftime. But one of the things that Chris Collins was concerned about was handling the pressure. Northwestern did that in the first half. That allowed themselves to get the ball across, get some high percentage looks.
Chicago State 7 for 30 from the field. Normally a very good three-point shooting team. 1 for 11 so far tonight. Palmer spun around, found the basket pretty close by, so put it up. It's out of bounds off of Northwestern.
And if you're Chicago State, 1 of 11 tonight, they were 5 of 17 against Valparaiso. You got to find a way to attack the paint. Kieran Woods is very good off the bounce, but these guys are very capable of taking it in. You get a couple of easy looks and then get some penetration and kicks for shots, get wide open shots instead of contested threes.
On the screen from Madrid, Andrews goes Batson. Adekoya with a hand in his face. Palmer trying to get the rebound. Trying to climb foul zone as well in the process. Adekoya wanted the three-point foul there, but didn't get it as he discusses it with the officials. Foul zone fouled there. And that's the third foul against foul zone. Lumpkin did a nice job to not foul Cole. But Cole gets the bucket anyway with the scoop.
And Elliott Cole really needed that. He did not score. Was 0 for 5 from the floor against Valparaiso. And this is a guy that averages almost 13 a ball game.
A whistle. Looks like there's a bit of a wet spot on the floor. So the refs will tend to that for the moment. Chicago State trying to figure out how to score in this second half, led by Elliott Cole, who averages 13 a game. Cole, a junior, Chicago kid, like many on this Chicago State roster. Northwestern hoping to recruit more from the Chicagoland area as well. This foul zone, the Mississippi, rather the Massachusetts native, misses that three. Elliott Cole trying to get the rebound, forced it out of bounds, so will belong to Northwestern. Tracy Dilby, year 6 at Chicago State. One of their winningest coaches in school history.
The Chicago State team that has 9 newcomers, so a team that's really starting to get to know one another. And Alex Ola gets another touch and goes to work down low.
They also have a lot of travel ahead once WAC play begins. They are by far the easternmost team in the WAC. Cole going high off the glass. Demps gets the rebound. Northwestern on the run. Foul zone, spinning to the basket, off the window.
Your guards get in there and help on the boards, and that can really fuel your break. When you have somebody who can rebound and go, push it out, you're going to get some easy looks.
A setup underneath for Chicago State. The baseline was closed. Trayvon Palmer now. Adekoya steps back. The three falls short. Olaf fighting for the rebound. Couldn't get it, but it does go out of bounds off of Madrid Andrews.
Well, anytime you can get some inside touches early in the ball game, early in the half, it's important. And Alex Olaf goes to work. And then you see in transition, high percentage shots. Get the ball to foul zone, he's able to convert.
Bit of a wrinkle in the second half lineup with Falzone out there instead of Scotty Lindsey. Lindsey had a pretty quiet first half.
One of the things that Chris Collins talked about, he said Scotty Lindsey has the potential to be a really special player. We need him to be more consistent.
Trey Demps has been consistent tonight. He has 16 points, 4 3-pointers. Demps opening up his scoring game. He is now 22nd all-time in Northwestern history in total points. Just 2 away from being 21st as Northwestern forces another turnover.
Oh, great job of attacking. When you attack the paint, when you get 2 feet in the paint, the dribble drive, open shots versus contested shots for Trey Devon.
Wildcats have opened up their biggest lead. Down low to Ola, sends it out. Lumpkin, the open 3.
Inside, outside. Establish the paint with the big guy, and Alex Ola's very good about making the extra pass.
Lumpkin has 8 points, only averages 5 a game, known for his defense getting involved in the scoring tonight.
When you're Northwestern, you're going to have to do it by committee. They don't have a guy who's going to break you down one-on-one. They break you down with ball movement.
After that Chicago State travel, we bring you the State Farm assist of the game coming from the big man, Alex Ola.
A really good job of getting a touch inside. Ola finding the extra pass. And Sanjay Lumpkin knocking it down from 3.
Ola's got 2 assists tonight, usually averages 1 per game. Northwestern with one of the highest assist to turnover ratios in the Big Ten. Improving on that mark tonight, just 4 turnovers compared to 13 assists.
An assist to made field goals, one of my favorite all-time stats. I mean, this is a team who gets themselves the best shot on the floor. Average 18 assists a ball game, which is 4th in the league. And one of the reasons why that while their percentage, field goal percentage, is much improved from the season ago.
Chicago State having trouble finding buckets. Looking for an open look. Nice job by Batson to get to the basket, cutting to the hoop, but unable to finish. Story of the game for Chicago State. Tapborn, the rare 2-point attempt, and it falls for the junior.
When you've got shooters on the perimeter, defenses worry about. They run out at you. And when you have the ability to put it on the floor, take it off the bounce as well, a more balanced approach for Northwestern.
Northwestern 5 for 7 to start this second half from the field. Batson tucked it. He was fouled. Lumpkin batted the ball, frustrated by the call, but Northwestern has had everything going right for them in this second half, and they are cruising against Chicago State.
Desperate need of a victory. Lost back-to-back non-conference games at home for the first time in 25 years.
A lot of youth. Bo Ryan's become a teacher again up in Madison.
That happens when you graduate and lose great players to the next level.
As the Big Ten world turns, Northwestern is 7-1. Looking to make it 8-1 for the first time since the 2011-12 season. It's been all Wildcats tonight. Northwestern on a 12-0 run. Chicago State waiting for the offense to develop. Sims another missed jumper. Cougars shooting just 21% tonight.
You've got to give Northwestern a lot of credit. After about the first 3 or 4 minutes of the ball game, a much higher activity level defending the perimeter, making Chicago State shoot contested shots. And there's McIntosh getting an open 3.
Brian McIntosh with his second triple tonight. Northwestern has hit 8 in this game. Chris Collins has to be pleased with the effort from his team after the 8-day layoff. It has been quite a ride for Northwestern tonight. Chicago State wants a time.
Shooters, 6 assists on all 6 made field goals here in the second half. And Chris Collins said that's the way we're going to be successful. We don't have guys that are going to break you down and beat you one-on-one. We have to break you down by moving the ball side to side. You can see the difference right there. And one of the reasons that the Wildcats are shooting at 50% on the game.
7 different Wildcats have recorded an assist tonight. It's become a bit of a runaway. Northwestern has scored 30 of the last 34 points in this game. Woods getting away from McIntosh, but another missed jumper from Chicago State. They are 8 for 39 tonight.
The other thing Northwestern's done a better job of early in this second half is the defensive glass. Chicago State not getting as many second opportunities.
Most of their points have come on those second chances. 13 of the 17 for Chicago State. They didn't have those. Who knows what the score would be?
And 10 of their 12 boards came in the first half.
Olaf fighting for that rebound. Instead, he went over the top. Olaf fouling Fred Sims. First foul against Olaf. 13 foul in this second half. Just the 5th foul in this game against Northwestern. Chicago State has not been at the free throw line in this game.
And Alex Olaf getting a break. He hadn't had much of one. We mentioned earlier, Joey Van Zegeren is out for at least a couple of weeks for Northwestern. Gavin Skelly having to play the 5 and spell Olaf a little bit of a blow.
We haven't seen much of Skelly tonight. He's on the floor now.
And Chris Collins talked about Skelly much like Sanjay Lumpkin. He's an energy guy. He comes in, he gives us energy. He's really active on both ends.
It was Skelly who let Woods get to the basket there. Chicago State also hasn't created the steals they normally like. They only have 2 in this game. This one out of bounds will stay with Northwestern. They average almost 10 a game. As we see Doug Collins, you know, proud parents, not just about student athletes on the floor. Sometimes the head coach has a proud pop on the audience.
What a luxury to have another set of eyes in the stands that can give you feedback if you're Chris Collins. Another set of legitimate eyes in the stands, not just a random person in the stands.
Foul against Devon Friend. Chris Collins in his 3rd season here at Northwestern. And Taphorn knocks down the 3. They're waiting for Nathan Taphorn to drill one from long distance. He had 8 in the previous 3 games. His first one tonight.
And I love the way he catches the ball shot ready. His hands are ready. His feet are set. As soon as he catches it, he's going up with it.
That was Anthony Eves going up with a miss. Cats back on the run in transition.
One of the things that Northwestern has done a very good job of, a lot of times when you have a team that pressures you the way that Chicago State does, they speed you up. Northwestern has not allowed the Cougars to speed them up on the offensive end of the floor. One of the reasons they've taken such good care of the ball.
Demps lays that one in, but a great job by Skelly fighting for that rebound to keep it alive.
So hustle plays.
This is Anthony Eves. Sending it down to the baseline. Montana Bird, the former Mount Carmel product.
And one of the few times Chicago State's been able to take advantage of the mismatch. Bird using his size to back McIntosh in. And Taphorn knocks down another 3.
Nathan Taphorn, we saw the ball movement again from Northwestern, working it around the perimeter. As Taphorn makes his second 3 in the last couple of minutes.
He really makes it tough. You have multiple shooters on the floor. You have to be able to know where they are, know personnel. Who's the one person that you want to allow a shot to?
This 3 from Woods. Lumpkin gets it up to Demps. On the run to the basket goes Trey Demps. "20 points tonight for Demps. Sims into traffic, rolls out. Lumpkin another rebound.
Good help deep by Skelly. There on the baseline drive.
Skelly was trying to get loaded up on the post. Instead, Northwestern turns it over. Eves floats it, plus the foul. Anthony Eves gets the bucket as the foul's against McIntosh. The Northwestern in control. Trey Demps, a 20-point night. The Wildcats a big lead. Northwestern up big on Chicago State. At the line for the Cougars is Anthony Eves. This will be the first free throw attempt of the night for Chicago State. It goes down for Eves. Finishing up a 3-point play, Trey Demps has 9 rebounds in this game. He has 20 points, nearing a double-double. I believe it would be the first double-double of his career. Left hand, Jordan Ash off the glass.
Well, you can really tell that Northwestern spent a lot of time working against this full court pressure of Chicago State. They've really been able to do a good job of not just beating it, but beating it and scoring.
Jordan Ash getting involved, just his third made field goal this season. Freshman out of Bolingbrook. Corner look, misses short from Montana Bird. Taphorn up for the rebound. Taphorn from the top. Nathan Taphorn has been on fire in this second half. 3 threes. He's 4 of 5 from the field. 11 points tonight.
Watching practice yesterday, one of the things that really impressed me about Northwestern, when they're going through their 5-on-0 stuff, when they're going through every drill, they're going through it with pace and precision. When you're learning and understanding how to play with pace and precision, you have to practice that way. And this is a group that really did that. They were very vocal, communicating, talking to one another, holding one another to a high standard. And when you've got that, that starts that transition that Chris Collins to ready to be one of those upper echelon teams in the Big Ten.
And really listening to the instruction of Chris Collins. They pay attention to exactly what the scouting report said about Chicago State. And that's why you've seen the Cougars struggle at what they're normally good at.
No question. There's an accountability issue, an accountability factor that this team has, that they've learned to have. And when you get that, and you know that you have them in that area, that's when you build culture. And you sustain it because they hold one another accountable to that standard.
Devon Palmer will return for Chicago State. Palmer, the leading rebounder for the Cougars. Although just 4 rebounds tonight from Palmer, with only 2 points, well below his season averages. Quick catch and shoot. And it rattles out from Adakoya. Scotty Lindsey with the miss there. Rebound for Delundre Dixon. A rare miss from Northwestern in the second half. They've made 70% of their shots. Adakoya stops his dribble, puts it up over Lindsey and misses. A foul on the loose ball. Appears to be against Chicago State. Northwestern on a roll at home tonight against the Cougars. The Wildcats looking for an 8-1.
This run, 30-11, outscoring Chicago State in the second half.
Taphorn also has 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Northwestern filling up the box scores all throughout their lineup tonight. The junior sharpshooter, Taphorn, leading the cause in the second half that has opened up this game. A 35-point lead for Northwestern. Chicago State's lowest offensive output was in their last game. They scored only 53 against Valpo. They will need an onslaught here in the final under 8 minutes. Even close to 50.
Missed the switch down low. That foul zone and the mismatch.
Calzone still working against a much smaller Cole. Now backs away. Demps around the dribble, pulls it up, and knocks down another 3. Why not? Just toss him up if you're feeling that good. 5th 3 from Demps. He has 23 points.
And Trey Demps has to be breathing a sigh of relief. He has struggled from the 3-point line leading into this game, but he's found that stroke from range.
Palmer trying to back in on Lindsey. Goes underneath instead and travel. Well, for Northwestern, always wondering if the next season will be the year that they finally get into the NCAA tournament. I mentioned that the rest of the non-conference schedule has a bunch of winnable games. So if you're looking at a 12-1 Northwestern team heading into conference play, a team that looks to be maybe in the top half of the league at least, maybe this is the year.
I think when you have a team that can shoot the ball the way that this team can shoot the ball, and if you can consistently get production from Alex Olai inside, you're going to give yourself a chance night in and night out. The thing I like about Northwestern right now, from seeing them at points in the year last year, much more confident, much more swag about them, understanding how to win close games at home, on the road. This is a different team from a mentality standpoint than a year ago.
Also averaging 18 more points per game than they were at this time a year ago. The offense has been outstanding tonight, shooting 55% from the field. DeLandre Dixon misses with the left hand. Palmer comes leaping in for the rebound. The ball out of bounds will belong to Northwestern.
Well, you see the difference. You mentioned it, 18 more points per game, but look at the efficiency, the way they're shooting the basketball, 48%, 40 from three, and it's a direct reflection of the way they move the basketball. They're not just getting good shots, they're getting great shots because they share it, because they move it from side to side, because they have that inside-outside balance.
See Vic Law in the cast there on the end of the bench. Trey Demps has a seat. Career-high 5 3-pointers from Demps tonight. A career-high 9 rebounds, and his 23 points match a career high. So this has been for Trey Demps, who has spent a lot of time here in Evanston over the last 4 seasons. Quite a night for him, as he is now 21st all-time in scoring in school history and 8th in career 3-pointers. Officials taking a look at the shot clock here as they review that last play. Originally they pointed Northwestern's way after it went out of bounds, but now they will say it belongs to Chicago State. Shot clock at 12 on the inbound. Another missed 3 from Chicago State. Second chance though. Friend gets the putback and the foul. Good job by the senior Devon Friend.
Those offensive rebounds, those second chance opportunities.
Chicago State is 1 for 17 from 3-point range tonight. Last foul on foul zone, his 4th. As Friend makes it a 3-point play. Friend only in his 4th game this year. Missed some time because of a concussion earlier this season. There's that full court press that Chicago State likes to play. Tap Horn, another chance. Nice job by Skelly. Tapped it right back to the top of the key. I should give rebounding assists because Skelly's had a couple tonight. Foul on the floor here.
That's what you need from guys that come off the bench, give you a lift, give you energy, and Skelly's one of those guys. Mike Lumpkin, he keeps plays alive, he makes all the hustle plays, does all the little things. The dirty work doesn't always show up in the stat sheets.
Foul on Friend, his 3rd. Kind of Skelly's MO, and he looked at his rebounds, 4 per game. He probably could have 5 or 6 if he didn't try to keep those other ones alive.
And really playing out of position here tonight, playing the 5. He's been playing the 4 offensively for Northwestern.
Van Zegeren is out, so Skelly will see some more playing time in that position.
And it's important, and this is a critical time for Van Zegeren to be out. You want to get him healthy heading into conference play. He's another big body, another rim protector, another rebounder. And if you can have somebody who can come in and spell Ola some time on the bench and be efficient and effective, that's critical.
Ash steps back for the 3. Jordan Ash from long distance. The Gene Pingator product at St. Joe's. I like that lefty touch from Jordan Ash.
Good recognition by the young fella right here. He knows the shot clock's winding down. He creates a little bit of space. Only 1 of 5 from the 3 heading into today. Knocks that one down.
Ash had offers from Iowa and Purdue, but chose to stay home. That's what Chris Collins wants to see more of. Kids have the grades, and they're local. He wants them to go to Northwestern. Jordan Ash did. Pickpocketed there as Elliott Cole takes a tumble near the basket. Chris Collins mentioned guys like Frank Kaminsky, Ben Brest, who ended up at Wisconsin. Those are the types of kids that should be playing at Northwestern.
No question. You look at where Chris Collins is in year 3 and really trending to the type of team that he does want to have, and starting to get players like Aaron Falzone that come in that are going to take this team to another level.
Free throw falls that time for Cole. Coach Collins proud of the incoming recruiting class, which includes a 6'10" Barrett Benson out of Hinsdale South High School in the Chicago suburbs. Getting more size and again recruiting locally. Rapolis Ivanauskas out of Barrington as well.
When you got a guy like Derek Pardon who's on the bench for Northwestern, who's playing right now, he's going to be behind Alex Ola and Ben Zagrin, but another guy that Chris Collins is really high on, going to redshirt this year. I think anytime you see young guys that come in, that continue to develop, that continue to work, and in a system that they're going to be successful, that's when you start to make really good jumps in league play.
And if you take the glass is half full approach, that man right there, Vic Law.
He wants to recruit those type of players, that caliber of player that's going to Duke. He wants them to stay home. And there's no question about it. He's making his mark, and his teams are continuing to improve and are going to be forced to be reckoned with in the Big Ten Conference.
Taphorn takes the inbound pass. Chris Collins is at Duke with John Shire, who really spurned the University of Illinois to go play at Duke. That was back when Bruce Weber was at Illinois, and John Shire played for Bruce's brother in high school. Thought that would be an easy one.
And I was talking with Doug Collins yesterday at practice, and he said, you know, Chris said in Bryant McIntosh, I found my John Shire. He said he really connected with McIntosh and really reminds him a lot of John Shire.
The bank's open for Jordan Ash, even on a Sunday night.
And what a good opportunity for Jordan Ash to come in to get quality minutes, to continue to learn, continue to grow. You think about Bryant McIntosh, how much he was able to play through last year as a freshman because he had to be on the floor. Now Jordan Ash is going against him every day in practice. It's going to pay dividends down the line.
Skelly with the tough defense commits a foul. Northwestern has 14 three-pointers in this game, 9 in the second half, 2 of them from the freshman Jordan Ash.
Hey, Chip, how did this come down?
On Chicago State with Stephanie White, I'm Wayne Randazzo. And Steph, we've really seen the Wildcats be so efficient offensively tonight, get everybody involved in their game, but Trey Demps has been huge.
Oh, Trey Demps has been spectacular. 23 points. He's found his shooting from the three-point line, which is exactly what Northwestern wanted. 5 of 10 from 3. We see he is the Duluth Trading hardest working player. 9 boards, almost a double-double to go along with those 23 points. For Trey Demps, he's just been spectacular.
The 9 rebounds are a career high. Chicago State at the free throw line. Devon Friend is there. Demps never turned the ball over tonight in his 34 minutes. Actually playing a little bit below his season average. Normally out there for 37 a game. It has been a strong night for Chris Collins and his Cats. Trying to make it 8-1 for the first time in 4 years. Skelly strong to the hoop. Everybody that has played tonight, except for Scotty Lindsey, has gotten on the scoreboard for Northwestern. Dixon working off of Taphorn, who gets the block. Here comes Lindsey on the run. Everybody on the board for Northwestern.
I like that Northwestern's had such a balanced attack. They've been able to score in a lot of different ways. They've knocked down three-point shots, been very effective in the second half from 3, but they've gotten some scores in transition. They've gotten some post moves inside.
Skelly taking it away there. Another block for the Wildcats. Jordan Ash one more time. Rattled out. That one was about halfway in.
I think that was a heat check for Jordan Ash. Almost banked that in.
Into traffic. Friend around the Wildcats defense. He'll go to the line.
And look at this defensive energy by Taphorn. Great block that leads to transition offense to get Scotty Lindsey on the board. And then Skelly, the activity level, good job of recovering back and getting a hand on this one.
Three-point play for Friend. He missed the free throw. Skelly gets the easy rebound. Foul zone. The freshman. A deep three. His first of the night. '15th triple from Northwestern tonight. That's it on the run. Bounces out. Skelly gets the rebound to Lindsay. In the final moments of a blowout, Northwestern has remained committed to its offense. Tap horn.
You have to. I mean, that's how you build championship culture. With a mentality. You don't play to score. You compete every day. Chris Collins worried about the 7-day break for exams. They worked out those cobwebs in the first half and came back in the second half and made a statement.
Tap horn on the way out. Chris Collins wanted a timeout just to make a change. Charlie Hall has entered the game. A freshman out of Los Angeles with the famous bloodlines, son of Brad Hall and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Nice job by Ash. Keep it alive for Northwestern. Scotty Lindsay misses the three. Out of bounds. Northwestern will keep it. Trey Demps, the senior, having a great night. Trying to show the young Charlie Hall how to do it. Good editor is telling Charlie how much he's a big fan of his mother.
Telling him to get ready. He's going to go out there on the floor. And that's one of the things I noticed, too, about Trey Demps. Much more vocal than I'd seen him throughout his career. He usually just goes out and he does his job and he plays, taking more ownership of being a leader on this team.
Calzone took that three from Skokie, but he missed it. Northwestern bench still active with a big lead. Demps, a 23-point night to tie a career high. Taphorn with 11. Taphorn's the only other Wildcat in double figures tonight, believe it or not. They have spread the ball out so vividly that nobody else is even in double digits. Deep threes, the trend here in the last couple of shots, as Devon Friend cleans it up for Chicago State. Friend, a team leading 12 points for the Cougars.
Well, and you have to give the Chicago State team a lot of credit. And Tracy Dildy talked to us about how hard they play, how they compete. Not a lot of things have gone right for them here this evening, but they've still continued to compete and play hard.
Putback falls out for Skelly, but he'll go to the line. Foul against Dixon. Pretty clean game from a foul standpoint. Northwestern's only been called for 11. Chicago State also just 11 team fouls in this game. Rare missing the free throw line for Skelly. 10 of 13 now for the season. Northwestern's only turned it over 8 times tonight. Chicago State unable to get the steals they normally pick up in a game. The score tonight, they average almost 10 per game to lead the WAC. Delendre Dixon airballs it. And the last shot attempt for Chicago State tonight. Northwestern will hang on to it in the final seconds here in Evanston. It was an 8-day layoff for Chris Collins' team as they went through finals. But they pick up their 8th victory of the season here tonight as the Northwestern Wildcats cruise by Chicago State. 15 three-pointers from the Cats and a 77-35 win over Chicago State.
Well, I think this is a Northwestern team that you can see has a different energy, a different aura about them, aggressive on the offense.